Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my build for the Mark IV Supra. As you can see, I have a lot of this stuff in the front end taken out already, and I want to talk to you guys exactly what I found and what I'm not happy about. I'm a little annoyed, pissed, but at the same time, I just gotta move on forward and get this build completed. Obviously, this is gonna take some time for me to get this done. So let me talk to you guys exactly what I found. I got the front bumper out, obviously everything that was connected to the front end, the reinforcement piece, obviously hanging in the front, and that was connected to the bumper, and then the headlights, and then what I found. First, I want to start off with saying I'm somewhat regretting purchasing this car because without really looking into the history of this car. Like I mentioned in the last video, if this car was possibly, it wasn't an accident, I ended up finding out with the VIN number. I kept searching, and found out that this car was in an accident. It was a front end accident. Not kind of happy about that. I wish I had known. I wish I had not been an idiot when I purchased this car, and I want to show you guys the pictures. What I found. I don't know exactly if this is true or not, but look at this. I think this was the car that I bought. It wasn't a front-end collision. The interior, obviously, the engine bay. And yes, the miles, 177,000 is exactly this, I believe, still the same. And I don't think the odometer is working, so I might have to look into that later on the road. So this is what I found online. I don't know how much of this is true because at one point this was NAT, so this was in the still stock form. So I don't know, whoever purchased it after from here did an NAT, got this all fixed, and it really wasn't really fixed at all correctly. And I'll show you guys exactly what I found. But I think this was the condition. And another website that I found yesterday, I don't recall what the website is on my laptop, but it says that this car exchanged hands 6 times. So 6 owners were kind of on this car at one point. And I believe I will be the 7th one. I haven't even registered the car yet, which that's one of the things I need to do. So let me grab my flashlight. Let me show you guys exactly what I found and what I'm going to be planning on doing. And we'll talk about the motor, what I found about the motor as well. So as you know, everything's dirty. The fenders, you got some sort of surface rust here and there and blah, blah, blah. It's not too bad. I can go ahead and get that cleaned up. It's pretty bad, surface rust all here and there. Again, it's all going to get cleaned up. This was one of the things that I saw when I looked at the car that, I mean, you can see right away it's jacked up as is. So I'm not concerned there because obviously I purchased the upper piece. This is the upper radiator support. Toyota still sells it. I ended up buying it. It was $166, which to me, thankfully, it doesn't really, it's, I purchased it right away without even thinking about it because obviously I want to get this car 100% back to what it is. I wish the car came with the perfect body and, just the engine issues, but now I'm looking at a completely full rebuild. I'm building a new car basically at this point. So purchased a new top reinforcement piece for radiator support piece. This came from Toyota and sitting right there, and I'll talk to you guys about that. And then when I took out the rear, intercooler and everything else, this was not installed correctly at all. Whoever did this did a hacked up job. The lower support as well, it was completely hacked up. This is welded on here on the lower reinforcement. As you can see, it's a little bent. Obviously I was trying to get this hammered out, but it was just bent already as is. So no, I'm not even worried about that. I didn't want to order new parts until I knew exactly what I needed. So I went ahead and ordered a new lower radiator support as well. This needs to be completely, it's welded on. So I think they need to the spot wells need to be drilled out, and then this will come out, and then along with the top piece. And then look at this side. This, whoever did this installation did a horrible job at the time when this car was fixed. So this needs to be completely, obviously it'll get spot welded, drilled out, and then obviously the top piece will come out all the way to the fenders, and then this piece will also come out. And then I went ahead and ordered a new reinforcement piece. I believe this is called a reinforcement piece. The radiator intercooler, the intercooler was welded. Somebody welded this piece onto this edge, and as you can see, it's rusted already. I think it was some water was running through the engine bay at one point with this. And yeah, so I mean, instead of me trying to get this out and clean this off and fix it and stuff like that, I don't even think this is the original piece based off those pictures I found. I'm not even gonna bother using this. So this, obviously I got a new piece from Toyota for this. So they're all sitting right here. I got the new lower radiator support piece. that's sitting right here. I bought this from Toyota. Then you have your upper radiator support piece, and then I got the reinforcement piece right here. And then I got the 97 98 grill for the bumper. For those who are not familiar with it, I want that. I like that look, so I'm gonna go with that look. And then I got some retainer pieces for the bumper and the fender pieces and all this stuff. And I started ordering parts here and there. So the main important is I want to go ahead and get the bumper, the body pieces for the front end situated out and stuff like that. So that's what I got so far: the top piece, the lower piece, and the reinforcement piece. Another thing I noticed is that this crash bar was in the back in the trunk, and I didn't know exactly what was happening with it. One, those two bolts are broken in here. I got to figure out how to get those out without, it looks like it's snapped out pretty good. So I don't know how to get this out. I've never drilled out a bolt. I don't know if I should have even attempted it or let the body shop do it. This side, obviously the bolts are fine. When I went to go ahead and mock this up, it's not lining up. So I know this side is bent, the frame. So the bent, and then when I say bent, it's literally bent maybe less than a half an inch. So this needs to be pulled to the right. So if I'm looking at it from the front, it needs to be moved to the right, just a tab, a little bit. I talked to my buddy Robert. He said he's obviously going to be helping me taking care of this frame situation with his friend. Both of them are Mark IVs, and they obviously worked on their cars, and they obviously they understand the body work, they understand the paint work and all that stuff. So they'll be taking care of this for me. I already got the quote. At one point I wanted to, when I found this out, I regretted purchasing the car, but then at the same time, it's the end of the day, it's a car. I got to move forward. It's fixable. It's not something that, where I purchased it, it's not fixable and I'm stuck with this car. I just got to move forward. It's fixable. I already purchased the parts. They will take care of me. I can get this done as soon as possible if I wanted to, but I'm going to wait until late February, March. One, I need to save up money for the body work. Two, I need to get all this stuff stripped out. Let's talk about the engine. I went ahead and drained the oil. Guess what the color of the oil is? Milk. It's light brown. I shouldn't say milk. It's chocolate milk. It's light brown. So that tells me the head gasket is blowing, but I will confirm that again when I go ahead and get this motor out, do a leak down test to see if it holds pressure or not, which I have a feeling it won't. So this motor is pretty much at this point is no good. But I'm hoping I can salvage the bottom end, meaning the crank and stuff. Hopefully nothing's damaged to the crank. If I can save the crank, then I can go ahead and get the bottom end built. And then I will, I have a buddy whom I have a head from me, GTE head, which will probably go on this car instead of the NA head. We'll see what happens. I'm not even thinking about the motor right now at this point. So my main focus right now is getting this body pretty much straightened out. I got to pull this motor out, which I'm hoping to do that today. I'm going to go ahead and get the trans out by itself. And then I will go ahead and pull the engine out of the car. I already got the hoist ready. I got the engine stand ready. I got the other motor back on the floor on the little dolly from Harbor Freight to move around and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the goal. And by the way, I'm done with that. And I'll probably won't even have any more videos for that reseal and anything like that. I got that block painted by that little can that I had showed you guys. I don't even know where that can is. Purchase this if you guys are planning on painting the engine bay, engine block. It's worth it. Let me just quickly share this. I mean, this thing's beautiful. The video might not show justice, but like I painted two blocks, my block and another block that I did on the C300 build. Honestly, this paint is, I love it. I might just do the same thing on this and for this build as well. So that's the update. Oh, and lastly, harness. Shit. Sorry, guys. This needs to be all fixed up. I don't know what the hell is happening. It doesn't look like the wires are corroded, not corroded, stripped. There are some pieces missing here and there, like there's a body plug missing here. I don't know where else it's missing here. So there's another one right there. I don't know what's going on here at this end, but once I get the engine motor out of this car, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the car and move it aside a little bit so I can get access to that, and also access to the passenger side to get the body harness out, so I can go ahead and get that cleaned up. And then once the motor is out, my plan is, like I said, late February, March, I'm gonna go ahead and get this body into the body shop. I want to get this whole engine bay completely stripped. I'm talking about the subframe and everything. The reason why is, share this guy quickly. I don't know how good it'll show in the video, but this is completely soaked in oil. Like it's the amount of oil is underneath this car. If I don't come out looking like really dark, covered in oil, I will be very surprised at myself. It's ridiculous, the amount of oil that's underneath the car on the subframe. So just like what I did to the Mark III last winter, about a year ago, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the subframe. I'm gonna drop everything in the front end. Basically, it's just gonna be empty in the front. Even the master cylinder, everything is gonna get stripped out. Drop it. I'm gonna rebuild the whole front end, the subframe, new bushings. Basically, the spindles are gonna get new bearings. Obviously everything's gonna. I'm also gonna be purchasing a new steering rack as well. So, or rebuilt steering rack. I don't know where to exactly get that from. I already was googling it, and I finally, I think it's around $400. So everything is gonna get replaced. So that's the plan right now. I'm not even thinking about getting the motor running, planning on getting this car running as soon as possible. My plan is to get this whole body fixed before spring, and then once I get it back, we'll decide what's the next step. And I'm also going to start stripping the interior as well. I don't know if I should do it after I strip this or later on, because I want to make sure the whole car is fully situated before I even plan on doing the transmission, the motor build, or anything like that, because I can source that. That's not even a problem. I think I just need to focus on getting this whole car body wise situated. And I have two colors. I'm trying to decide whether to stay with Alpine. It's actually called silver metallic, whatever. Looked up the code. People call it Alpine or something like that. Either staying with that, or I might do Quicksilver, which is, I believe, was in '98. It's a nice color. I'm just going back and forth, but as of right now, I'm staying with the silver, or might do Quicksilver. So we'll see when that time comes, when it comes to body shop, and when it comes down to what color I want to do. But those are the two choices I'm doing. I have on my mind. So wanted to give you guys a quick update on this. Car is a fucking piece of trash, but hopefully, crossing fingers, when I'm done with it, it's gonna look amazing. I'm hoping that I do not find anything else besides this situation right here. Yeah. So, I mean, as you can see, this is not even straight. The engine bay is like that, and it's crooked. You see that? So, I have a fucking headache looking at this car. So, stay tuned, guys. This is a start. This is going to be a fun and stressful project for me. And together, we're going to go ahead and build this, all right? Thanks for watching.